Okay, here we go. Hello, peoples on the internet. So I was playing with new settings that they've given me. So, here's the thing we're talking about today. There's this whole referendum bullshit. Now, here's the thing, right? I'm sick and bloody tired of people blaming the people that are not responsible for the voice's downfall. Okay, you want to know who's really responsible for the downfall of the voice? It's the people who promoted it. Right, that's one thing. There was sort of this whole woke gender, sort of this whole you know bullshittery that you'd expect from, I think, of people, right? That's the reason why the voice didn't work. In my opinion, the voice did not work simply because there was too many problems. Okay, let me show you a diagram here. Now, let's get the out of the way and some of the cords out of the way here. Now, see the way I figure it. This is the way I figured it, people. If you had the Parliament House right, excuse me, all the crap. You had Parliament House right, then do you realise, people, there is about, excuse me, there's about 500 different Aboriginal uh, basically tribes in Australia. So I was trying to, I couldn't drive 500 marks, so that's close as I got, okay? But there's about 500 different marks, right? 500 different people, Aboriginal groups in Australia, each with their own language, territory, and a large number of them are separate clans. And even some archaeologists believe that these some of these Aboriginal tribes go right back to about 45,000 years. So, with that in mind, let's check out what a referendum could have been. A better one could have been. They had Parliament House. Then you have one member from each of the 500 tribes come in for every week or so, right? So you have one from, say, like Murrumbidgee or wherever. Then they go to one tribe there and they have their little say, there. And then you have the other tribe member next week after, and they have their say. And then you have another tribesman from another week, say, have their little say. Then another one from another week, and so forth and so on, right? Every different tribe member has their own little say, right? So we keep going like this. Sorry, just trying to do a little bit of doodle. Okay, so we have all different peoples, right? All different leaders from all the 500 groups of the Aboriginal people, right? Now, if the Parliament dudes had one from each member of the tribe come in on a weekly and daily basis, this is how the voice could have worked. Okay, is that you had many different tribes, peoples from each individual tribe come in on a weekly basis to come and bring and submit their ideas to Parliament. Then from there, they can submit it to the chiefs and elders and all that sort of stuff. Now, what interesting thing could have happened was you could have had two tribes intersect with one another and decided that that was a good idea, a part of their ideas from another tribe. They agreed on something, and they could have agreed on something like that, and shared the sort of shared resources, right? Say, for instance, some other tribesmen had a good idea. The point, if some other tribesman had a good idea, they could have shared it with the other tribesmen that they meet up with, and then they could share resources. And then you would have something it would look like. Like this. The way I figure it is, the referendum could have worked if you had one Aboriginal person from each tribe come and voice their opinion in Parliament and share resources in a somewhat tree-like fashion. If one elder liked what another elder liked, from what they heard from another member in the Aboriginal people, they could have easily had something like this sort of happen, right? But no, there was no. Here's the thing about the referendum, people. There was no intended plan. All they were just saying was like the whole woohoo, Black Lives Matter, woohoo, or you know, genders matter, woohoo, you know. But there was no real individual plan for the voice. Like if you ask any member from the voice, they'll say, oh, once we got it into Parliament and got it in as law, then from there we'll make up whatever we go along. That's not okay. And even more to the point, some Aboriginal people had issues. Like, say, for instance, if my referendum idea like this couldn't work, the idea was they were going to have one Aboriginal person represent for all the Aboriginal people of Australia. That would not work either. That's the reason why I suggested this kind of plan would have worked better. A tree format from which each elder from each individual denomination, or whatever you want to call it, group of Aboriginal people could have come to the Parliament sect and voiced their opinion, and then from there branched off and shared resources with the other Aboriginal groups. But of course, nah, they didn't want that now, did they? So the point being is the reason why the referendum failed, in my opinion, is because of that. Now, people keep blaming the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, for the failure of the referendum. Get fucked, you bunch of bullshit artists. No. In defense of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, I say that he was actually trying to make sure that everything, what was best for Australia, okay, what was best for everyone, he was trying to make sure that everyone got a fair say in the votes and stuff like that. And again, he had no way of swinging votes or anything like that. Again, it falls back. What the people don't want to accept. I mean, even people are now still calling Australia racist because they didn't let the Aboriginal people have a voice. Bullshit. A lot of people who voted no were Aboriginal people as well, and Torres Strait Islander peoples as well. It was nothing, not just the actual, just all the white people in Australia voted no. Get it right. It's not about race. The whole reason why the voice referendum failed isn't because of race. It isn't because of gender, and it sure as hell isn't because one guy in Parliament thought it would be best to listen to one person over the other. It was done exactly like it was supposed to. People had a vote. People voted, right? That's how it's supposed to go. That's the reason why we have a diplomatic country, people, of that kind of point. You know, we're supposed to be a diplomatic country. We're supposed to show support to those who are different to us and everything. And yet, at the same point, we want to criticize people and say, "Oh, no, you're racist if you didn't go with what we believe in." Bullshit. Look, again, you fuckers on The Voice, you fuckers over there on The Voice, you guys had no fucking plan. You're just gonna go, cruise along with it. It's like, okay, this is The Voice. We're gonna let every black person have their say. Okay, what does that entail? And then you say you want to write it into the Constitution, making it law. What does that mean? You guys had no fucking clue about what it means to have laws written by the Aboriginal people to find out what they want written down as law. You guys didn't go. I bet you guys didn't even bother going and asking out there. You just come in your own little thick-skulled heads. Oh, we want respect. We want Australia Day moved, or we want or less Aboriginal people being locked up or whatever. Well, that is a good point of view. As Anthony Albanese pointed out himself, well, you lot should be ashamed of yourselves, right? Because there's a whole bunch of communities out there in the Aboriginal community. There's a lot of Aboriginal people in the Aboriginal community that are dying, that are suffering on a daily basis, and it doesn't seem like anyone really gives a shit. So if you guys want anyone to give a shit, donate some money to those communities. If you really are passionate about the Aboriginal communities and all the different 500 sects and different 500 tribe members in Australia, then why don't you guys donate money to that to better the Aboriginal reserves and whatever, So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, overall, people, I just think it's bullshit that we are supposed to accept everyone and accept everything, and at the same point, people will call you racist, sexist, whatever it is, if you come across their point of view. And then they wonder why their bullshit fails. Listen here, all you guys who voted for The Voice, you know why you lot failed? It's because you're pushing your ideology onto the people. You're pushing, if you didn't accept us, you're racist. If you didn't accept people and overall. And again, you guys kept hammering it and hammering it and hammering it. I couldn't go without swiping to another website without saying, vote yes, vote yes, vote yes, vote yes. I mean, bitches, please. It's like all you had to do was say what you had to say in Parliament and in front of everyone, what the referendum and The Voice entailed, and what kind of where you wanted to go to with it. Like say that, and show a plan of what the referendum could have actually been like. Then you dumb fucks probably would have got somewhere. Instead, you didn't have a plan. And then you wonder why your shit failed. And you want to go blame Anthony Albanese for his contribution to this shit? Get fucked. From a person from Australia, I'm telling you lot, get fucked. All right? A true blue Australian. I might be a white-looking dude. I may have ancestry and from German and Scottish blood in me from way back when. But here's the thing: I still stand. What is best for the Aboriginal people as a whole is to try and show support and respect, and to show them that there is hope for their communities, for a brighter future for their communities. The referendum, The Voice never actually showed any kind of results, to be fair. It was just all word salad and all bullshit, to be fair. It was all just word salad and blah, garbage. And then you dumb fucks who decided to vote yes, you decide to blame Prime Minister Anthony Albanese because you think he's a white male. He was the cis white male who only listened to one side, not the other. Hey, check the votes, bitches. It had nothing to do with him per se. It had to do with the votes, right? I mean, it's not like he went thumbing through the votes just to find all the good votes and then threw all the other ones out. That's bullshit. That's not what a vote's about. And again, back to being fair. You guys fucked up. You guys on the Voice side, the ones who wanted to vote yes, you guys fucked it up. You lot fucked it up because you pushed on your ideology and your beliefs onto this whole thing. Like if you don't accept it, you're racist, and you proved that Australia is a completely racist country. get fucked. You want to know why? Because a lot of people who voted no were Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. How do I know this? Go check the votes. Check out how many actually voted, and from all different communities. It's not just white people who voted. No, it was a lot of the Aboriginal people as well. So you can't just go around and say, "Oh, it was the white people who voted yes," and no Aboriginal person had a say in the matter. Which comes back down to the whole voice thing in the first place, saying that Aboriginal people don't have a voice. But Aboriginal people do have a voice. Sometimes they are addressed in Parliament. But even then, the whole thing could have worked if they stuck to a simple game plan. Like I said, like this, my idea of the referendum of the voice game plan would have been to have every tribesman from each individual tribe, which is 500 of them, all meet within about a week. Every week or so, they'd get one of them to meet with the head of parliament, like Tony Albanese or whatever it is, and have a word to him. A week, a different member, and then from there, they could talk about sharing resources and doing lots of all sorts of things like that. But no, the referendum failed because the dumb fucks kept on pushing their ideology. Right? They wanted to move Australia Day. They wanted to say that all of Australia is racist. That's what really got up people's backs, because not all of Australia is racist. Not all people in the referendum who voted were white people. Like, there was black people who voted as well. And I hope if Prime Minister Anthony Albanese sees this, I stand up for you, dude. More power to you, dude. And you made the right call. And I don't care what anyone else says and say that he made the wrong call by listening to people who said no. He did the right thing, because he's the leader. He was the leader of Australia at this time, and he did the right thing. Now, if any other people want to debate me, fight me in the comments below this video. I dare you, because basically, I still stand by the statement that Australia is not racist. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is not racist. I still stand by that. I still stand by a lot of things. Now, a lot of people are saying that all these people are racist. It's not true. It's bullshit. And I'm still going to stand by that. The idea, it could have caused a division, as well. Like I said, if it wasn't well planned out, like I say, for example, like what I have here, if the whole referendum wasn't planned out, then they would all fall apart. Because one idea for the referendum was to have one person speak for all the Aboriginal people. That's not going to work, okay? Because every Aboriginal culture is different and have a different set of rules and set of guidelines to follow. Therefore, that's the reason why you have to have a system like this, that every week or so, a different tribesman would have to come to the parliament, and then would have been able to speak to Tony or whoever, the Prime Minister or General Governor, or whoever was running the show at the time, come up there then, and then from there, then they could have worked out a tree format like this, and then could have worked out, they could have shared resources amongst different tribes and different things. Now, they could have had a tree format like this and actually shared resources and things. This is what they could have done for the referendum, people. This is what the voice could have been. But instead, they fucked it all up. They fuck it all up, and then they blame us people, the white people, or the or whatever peoples in between, as we're all racist and bullshit. Fuck yous. No, we're not. Okay? This has nothing to do with race. This has nothing to do with gender. This has nothing to do with any other politics. Okay? The politics here is that this is what the referendum could have been. This is what the voice could have been. But instead, it didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Because the people that don't want to take responsibility for their bullshit, namely it was poorly marketed. Okay, I'm going to pull it straight out of my own ass right in here and say it straight up. The voice was poorly marketed. It was pulling out the concept. Oh, we'll give everyone in the Aboriginal community a voice. That's not realistic, because every different Aboriginal tribe and every different Aboriginal area has their own set of religions, beliefs, and all sorts of rules. They're all different set of rules for each individual tribe. Therefore, you cannot dictate, say, oh, this tribe believes this, we've got to get them to believe this and that. Yeah, no, it wouldn't have worked. This is the only way that it could have actually officially would have worked, people. If they had a tree-line system to the Parliament House and made a tree-like format, then the referendum could have been saved, in my opinion. The voice could have been saved. But because of all this whole bullshit about, gender equality and this whole bullshit about, race equality and all this bullshit that got thrown in the mix that shouldn't have been thrown into there, that's the reason why it failed. It could have succeeded, people, in my opinion, but it failed because of the whole ideology, right? Pushing and shoving that ideology down people's throats. That's not what people want. People want to what the Aboriginal people, as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong if there's any Aboriginal people watching me right now, correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, all the Aboriginal people want is to be shown love, respect, kindness, and generosity, right? That's what true Aboriginal people want to be shown. Some form of respect, some sort of respect and reverence for their beliefs, their religions, and of course, their everything else that makes an Aboriginal person. That's what they really want. Instead, the idea of trying to push home that we've got to take over the world, ha ha he he ho. We've got to try and push away into government so that we can get things to change. Hey guys, it doesn't matter if you try and push your way into the parliament to get things done. No, what you should have done was be more diplomatic. Show some more diplomatic prowess, and like I said, show a game plan. Show a plan that could hypothetically work in a scenario where it could actually work. But instead, you guys didn't. You didn't have a plan. You guys didn't have a plan. That's the reason why the voice failed. That's why I realised this referendum failed, because the opposition who wanted to vote yes hadn't got a plan. And if they don't submit a plan to show people what you're getting in, it's no different from like a scam. It's no different from saying to someone, okay, I've got this here perfectly well given cough medicine. It's the best in the world. And you give me $500 for it, and it's all yours, right? But then you find out there's a cheaper version on the market that has the exact same chemical compound in it. It's all that sort of thing, people. It's just mind-boggling to me. It's like, for my opinion on the voice in the referendum is that it could have worked if they had a game plan. But instead, they chose to ignore that idea of a game plan and totally fucked the whole thing up. This whole idea of all the tribes submitting, and also submitting their ideas to Parliament. This could have worked, people. This whole idea of intersecting a tree-like format, this could have worked, in my opinion. This whole thing here for the referendum could have worked. A tree-like system where the government could have spoken to each and every member of the 500 tribes in Australia, of the Aboriginal people, on a weekly basis to get in touch with the communities. This could have worked. But instead, all the politics and all the bullshit, and even people were even feeling divided because they're feeling like that the Aboriginal people were being separated and basically, what I'm trying to think of the word is, marginalised or grouped into like a specific group. They're not completely all Australians if they were thrown into a different group. The idea, another reason why this, even probably this one would have even failed, is the concept of the idea of having one Australia. The idea is we're supposed to be under one government, under one law. Technically speaking. So technically speaking, that's sort of how we sort of go with the Parliament. One government who governs all, even though it's still running under the British system. Yes, I know. There's been a lot of debate about that as well. But overall, yeah. As you said, Biker Aussie. Hello, Biker Aussie. Yeah, so we're just talking about this. There we go. I don't know if I can bring you up because I'm having technical difficulties. So there, exactly, the idea, it could have worked, Biker Aussie. It could have worked in my little graph here. It could have worked, but because there's so much bullshit that happened, they fucked it all up. That's just my opinion. I'm sick and tired of the losing side blaming other people for their own incompetence. Like the losing side is blaming, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese for his partakers in it, and they're blaming him for the reason why they failed. No, he's not the reason why you fuckers failed. They also blame us white people for the reason why it failed. Nah. That's not the reason why the thing failed, people. They just didn't have a game plan. That was the problem. They didn't have a plan. They submitted an idea that had no plan. And last time I checked, with people who have that kind of mentality and not having a plan in place to support their ideology, belief, or crowning government theory, if they don't have an idea in place, then they're doomed to fail. My opinion. But yeah, so that's my opinion about this whole referendum, people, is that I still believe that it could have worked in theory, but it failed because of the people's incompetence. You know, the whole idea of trying to, promote the alt-right and the whole bullshit that went with that. You know, Black Lives Matter. No, don't get me wrong. The Black Lives Matter movement, that's perfectly fine. But the problem is, there are extremists in that group with the Black Lives Matter movement. It goes along with any other movement, and then when they try to push their way into the government, that's when things fuck up. What people need to do is show respect for these cultures, love and respect for these cultures, and again show gratitude to the people. And maybe, like I said, maybe finding a way of donating money to those those Aboriginal areas. Because some Aboriginal areas are having it really, really tough. Some basically live in shacks and some live in houses. So it's it is what it is. So yeah. But again, back to what I'm saying is no, the people of Australia are not racist, and Tony Albanese is not racist. And again, on top of all that, there was a lot of black people who, like Black Ozzy said, there's a lot of black people who even voted no. So, in all high respect, shut the fuck up, you losers! That's my personal permit on that whole The Voice thing. The losers, and get fucked. To be honest, get fucked, because you guys had no fucking plan. You had no fucking plan in place. You were just going to go along. Once you had all the ideas of what you had set up in Parliament, then you didn't even have this kind of plan. This is the plan I kind of come up with on the spot. That if we had a whole bunch of Aboriginal elders and chiefs come in on certain days of the week or certain months of the year or days of the week or whatever and have their say, then maybe they could have shared resources amongst each other and showed support for one another and create a self-sustaining group of tribes based on a system. But hey, what do I know, right? I'm a dumb cunt. But that being said, people, that's the reason why the referendum failed. In my opinion, there was no set guidelines, there was no set plan. And then, because there was no set plan, people were trying to pass off, oh, you're racist. You didn't side with us, so you're racist. Or you're sexist, or whatever, ist or phobe you are. Because we didn't vote yet. Because we didn't, we didn't vote yes. By the way, just so you know, people, if people wanted to know my opinion about my vote, I would have voted no, but because again, I was feeling sick just this last week. I've been feeling sick, so I've been getting over this sort of throat cold, so I didn't manage to go get a vote. But that being said, if my throat wasn't playing up so badly, I would have gone and actually got and voted no myself. No, why? Because it was so poorly planned, and I was getting hammered with it. Boom, boom, boom. That's the problem with it's poor marketing. It was poor marketing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I know, right? It's the weirdest thing, Bosniaka. Yeah, they're clutching at straws and they're talking bullshit. They're saying, "Oh, how could they possibly win?" You know, it must have been had the white people help them out or whatever. But it's bullshit. It's like, it's bullshit. It's just people just don't want to accept the reason why they failed is because of poor marketing, no proper communication, and they didn't have a proper plan in place. If they showed the people of government of Australia, or even showed the people of Australia exactly what they had in plan in mind for the voice in the referendum, then that would have been better. Saying, "Oh, we're going to move Australia Day, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that." It's bullshit. Uh, uh, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Biker Aussie. I hear you, mate. There's a lot of true Australia Aussies out there that said no, and I still stand by that as well. You know, the true Aussies were the one who voted no because that's the idea. Like, you know, because there was no plan. You know, if the Aboriginal people or people who were submitting the voice had a proper thing in place to submit to Parliament, to submit to the people, a proper plan in place, rather than saying, "Oh, we'll just make it up as we go along." You know, that was the biggest problem. Was they were sort of like saying, "Oh, well, once we get past it, once we get the voice into Parliament and get the voice passed, then we'll just make stuff up as we go along." And that's always a dangerous thing, especially in power and leadership, where you just say something along those lines. "Oh, we'll go over the details later, or we'll go over the plan later." No, 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 no. You have to have a plan in place first to set the guidelines and a structure of what you're supposed to be talking about. Otherwise, anything you say is just word salad and bullshit. Straight up, people. I'm on fire. So that's where I stand on this thing. I really think it would have been better if they had some sort of there's a lot of things that could have made the referendum work. Like I said, there was even this plan right here that I just made up on the spot. The whole plan of all these different tribes, peoples meeting the head of parliament like once a week or once a month, and then sharing resources amongst all the different tribes people. That could have worked, but instead we got what we got, and then they wonder why they failed because they kept on pushing politics and genders down people's throats. And people don't want to listen to agendas. People don't want to listen to an agenda. People don't want to listen to bullshit, basically. People want to see a plan and an idea in place. If you haven't got an idea or plan in place, you're fucked. Just saying. And again, I still stand with Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. He made the right call. He made the right decision. I'm not going to go against the Prime Minister of Australia and say he fucked up. He didn't fuck up. It was the promotional people who promoted the voice who fucked up. It was the fact is they had no plan what fucked them up. This is why the voice failed. Simple enough. There was no plan. There was no guideline. And when they finally started to try and get their shit together, it was pretty much fucked. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But a lot of it, that's what I'm saying, a lot of it was just word salad. Like, it didn't really work, Fast Boy Craig. It just didn't work. Yeah, but it didn't work, Fast Boy Craig. It just didn't work. The concept of it would not have flown. It just doesn't work. Also, back to the point too, even if you were to go along the guidelines, you select one member of parliament, from one person from one particular Aboriginal tribe, and then get them to speak on behalf of all the others. That wouldn't have worked either. Just saying. The referendum failed. There was no actual plan. But if you got a link, dude, let me know about it. We'll put a link in the comment section after the video. But as far as I know, dude, there was no actual plan. It was just basically on the spot bullshit. Anyway, that's my personal opinion that all that stuff was on the spot bullshit. It didn't really. It was just word salad on a thing. Yeah, there's that too. They didn't get enough funding. I was saying they didn't put. That's part of the whole thing about the promotion as well. Fast Boy Craig. That's part of the promotion. Part of promoting things. The promotion stuff that they sort of gave out was absolute garbage, and also pushing their agenda down people's throats, and didn't actually do that. There was so much bullshittery going on with it. That's another reason why it failed, because there's so much bullshittery. But anyway, that's just my opinion, people, and I'll leave it on that note. And I think I'll just wrap this up and talk to all you people again soon. Later.